Have you ever seen or gotten a policy at work that you clearly didn't understand? Maybe it was too confusing for you, ambiguous words were used. Well, Dr. Olufemi Ogunlo will address this particular concern on this episode of Workplace Whispers. But of course, do not forget to like and subscribe so that more people get to see this and get their career questions also answered. Now, let's get straight into the video.
I was once queried for violating a policy I honestly had no clear knowledge of. When HR pointed to the policy document, I realized it was written in such ambiguous and confusing terms that I didn't even understand what was expected of me. So this person said the policy looked fine on paper, but in reality it wasn't clear at all. So this person is asking this question, Doctor. How can HR craft and communicate policies in a way that employees can easily understand and apply? And in situation where this policy itself is not clear, is it fair to hold the employee
I
at
wish
fault?
you had seen a LinkedIn post
I actually saw that post.
you
and
know,
the
of
reaction.
conformity, composite composition of compromising conformity.
Ambiguous words.
That was-
What does
Now,
that mean?
that's it. So you're going to have to do research on it. I've declared a global challenge on
Okay.
it, and I put it on LinkedIn. So first and foremost is that ignorance is not an excuse, whether in the workplace or in society. So when something is not clear, you have the responsibility to seek for clarification as an employee. Now, many a times people take actions without actually asking the question, what steps should I take? And which is why I always say, what does the policy say? You want to make a decision on something. Don't just make that decision. Turn to the policy to say the policy says if somebody comes late 3 times in a week, as an example, they should receive a query. Now, you have to check that policy each time somebody appears to have been late 3 times, because what you are making is allegation. All right, it's not substantiated. Even when the clock machine says the person has not come, the clocking machine can be proven to have been defective. So open that policy document, read it, such that when you want to then ask the person, you can say, per policy number XYZ, I require your response to this conduct. So even though you've done this thing 200 times, you might not just know the day policy has been reviewed and updated. So check the policy. Now, for the employee that is to take action, if you check the policy and it is unclear to you, what is the responsibility that you have? You seek clarification. The question we then ask ourselves is, how do you do that on the go when the work is going on, right? Okay, that's what gets people into trouble. Because the moment you're supposed to step aside and be sure before you take action, you thought you knew it and you took the action, and then somebody comes up to say you have violated policy. So the policy is there for a reason. It's there for you not to memorize, but it's there for you to reference it. Get in touch with the policy. Ask the policy questions. Treat the policy as a person. I say, Mr. Policy, what do you say about lateness or conduct? Because if I'm late and the policy says, send a message to your supervisor if you are confronted with a situation that will make you to become late. That's what the policy says. But at that moment when you are being late, you do not have policy with you, right?
You don't have the
So
policy.
how do you reference the policy? If to go back to the question I said reference, it means there are certain elements of policy that you must know.
Memory. By memory?
I won't say you're not trying to memorize them, but you know them by conduct, by practice, right? So you know that I'm sure that you haven't read anywhere that says do not litter, right? But by practice, you know that you shouldn't litter, right? So by practice, you should know certain things, minimum things that relate to the workplace.
Knowledge is key.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is key.
You made it to the end of this episode of Workplace Whispers with Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo. But wait, your job isn't done yet. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with your friends so they don't miss it. Of course, we'll see you on the next one.